I re-uploaded a video from a while ago. Main thing about it was a specific person's question. I'm about to reiterate this, but I'm going to do it a little bit easier. Some theories I've heard claim that cosmic particles penetrate the Earth and their energy is converted to mass on impact. Solve Einstein's equation, like now we have volcanoes erupting all over. This is due to the expanding core. Okay. Volcanic activity has continued throughout history, number one. Number two, it was much more extreme in the past, so the video I did was kind of apologetic because it's an interesting theory that the Earth could change diameter. And it does, actually, in a way. But it's matter. Now, I want to point out something here that you need to accept. The amount of material that you have to release from being matter to energy to produce a 1 kiloton explosion is approximately the weight of one paper clip, the mass of it. It could be any element, it doesn't matter if you could get it converted all the way over efficiently into energy. Now, that means the equivalent to a small atom bomb could add only one paper clip's worth of matter to the Earth. At most, it would most likely be less, not more. It takes more than 1 gram, one paper clip, worth of material to do the explosion, but the majority of it doesn't do anything except turn into another kind of matter or just stay the same. The energy released is from matter literally being annihilated. 1 gram of annihilated matter results in about anywhere from 1 to 5 kilotons, maybe 15 kilotons. An H-bomb would be, a lot more maybe. But the point is, under no circumstances would the reverse process be more efficient because that's not how reality works. So the presumption that the amount of energy hitting the Earth, which works out to each square yard or meter, being hit with about 1,000 watts of energy, versus the trillions of watts that are released by 1 gram of matter. No, cosmic rays and any other mysterious thing you want to bring up and saying somehow we can't detect it would not add mass to the Earth over that long of a period of time and make it larger. The easiest way to add mass to the Earth is for shit to hit it, which is what happens. I'm going to read the rest of this. As for the expanding Earth, every kid in school noticed that if you looked at the shapes of the continents, you could fit them together like a jigsaw puzzle, because we do puzzles all the time. The trouble is, as I said in the video, continents aren't based on what's visible above the fucking water. They're based on the continental plates, which do not fit together. Not really. I mean, some of them kind of fit together. We can tell where they came from most likely and how they've moved around, but all they've done is move around. The diameter of the Earth has not changed in a way that I can find. And the thing is, you're asking for a big ask. The square cubed law. Every time I double the diameter of this screen from this, right here, to this, right here's the center point, that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 times as much area. If you do the same thing, that's squaring it. So if I double it, it actually quadruples the amount of material I must add to make this double the diameter. If you do it in a cubic form or three-dimensional space, you have to cube it. So at that point, you have to create 8. This is why you have oct trees, octagonal or 8-part trees. In order to double the diameter of the Earth, which is actually what you'd have to do, you'd have to add 8 times the matter. That would mean you'd have to cram 8 Earths into this. And you're claiming, you're bringing up anyway, you're not making a claim, that matter is converted from energy, which is not going to be efficient. That would require a bizarrely large amount of energy. But it's special energy because, no. Also, it would be inefficient. It would produce heat. The planet, if it was doing that, wouldn't get colder, and it wouldn't become more solid. It'd be much more of a liquid. This also does happen with matter falling into a star, but it's matter-driven by gravity. Energy flying through space in a random direction doesn't have to apply pressure and be captured in a planet. Most energy hits the surface, dissipates, changes temperature, adds energy to the planet, but it doesn't convert to matter very well. Energy to matter is really a not very common occurrence, except within a star. You can have a fission reaction produce energy and then it convert back to matter. You need to learn the basics of physics on this. The annihilation of matter producing energetic reactions that we can see, like explosions and whatever, or electromagnetic energy, or heat, or light, is a very interesting and very worthwhile thing to look up. But again, this is the thumbnail sketch. Every gram of matter, if you were to liberate it 100% efficiently, which you cannot do, would produce a fantastically large amount of material, of energy. Taking that fantastically large amount of energy and somehow magically turning it into matter would really result in diddly squat. That's almost like making a grain of sand out of an entire star explosion. It is not a way to add to the mass of the Earth in any really significant way compared to the average 40 tons of dust that falls into the planet on a daily basis. So no, that wouldn't be it. It's literally just accruing material and matter, which does make some sense. It could be part of what drives the planet. The planet could act like a little tiny black hole collecting just garbage, and it would add just a tiny amount of matter and mass to the Earth. That, combined with the fact that we go around the sun in a almost but not quite perfectly circular way, with a moon going around it, kind of agitating and massaging the inside of the Earth, keeping it warm. There's all sorts of things we can learn about. But this Thunderbolts project kind of idea is absolutely, it's not the same one, but it's really dumb. And the thing is, as I said in the video, that was an escape hatch. Someone said, well, I want the Earth to be expanding and I have to find a way to add matter to it that doesn't cause matter impacts to destroy the planet. Because if you add that much matter, if you make the Earth 8 times as heavy, that matter has to come from somewhere. The easiest place would be one of a couple of collisions that cause the asteroid belt, which isn't necessarily what caused the asteroid belt. But that would result in the planet not having the outer surfaces because it would press in. So someone invented out of their butt the idea that the Earth is one giant energy to matter converter. The Earth is not an energy to matter converter. This theory sits very well with me. It would explain the ultimate unlimited crude oil. No, it's not unlimited. We have limited crude oil. Ocean water and volcanic magma kind of explains the seams at the center of the oceans. It looks like stretch marks. That's actually the expansion points, that the lava underneath. But anyway, I like your thought that maybe we are also seeing density changes. Makes a lot of sense to me. Love the subject too. Okay. But the problem is I'm attempting to explain. I was paying lip service to it because it's an interesting theory. Sort of like the semi-aquatic ape theory. It's an interesting idea, but it doesn't have any merit when you can actually test these things. And the process of just fusing matter together and then fissioning it is extremely inefficient. I have to point out that in order for you to form matter from something very light, you have to start off with something very light, like hydrogen and helium can be fused. Helium is much more difficult, apparently. And once you get to the point that you're hitting the atomic numbers for iron, they don't fission or fusion in such a way they can self-sustain. Fission reactions, fusion, below the mass of iron are technically sustainable because they produce more energy than they consume. And above iron, fission, separating matter, can work. The closest thing that you're talking about is fusion. This is an energy taxing, by definition, activity where a lot of energy would be concentrated into an area and somehow forced to become matter. That process is an extremely unusual thing, and I've only heard of it happening, that's actually been explained, within a couple of microseconds of an actually an H-bomb going off, but only temporarily. It still liberates the energy. And or in a star, because energy is released, captured, and it transforms itself into matter. But that's only within a star. A star, technically, even though it's made out of fission and heat and light, it's opaque. Light can't go through a star for the most part. Radio signals even have trouble going through it, and lots of other things. And that's a star. And that's as non-difficult to go through as I can come up with. A planet would not have to have any of that happening. It would be within the first couple of inches. When sunlight or any form of energy hits the Earth, or even just the atmosphere, it tends to agitate the matter around it and give up its energy to the planet. So no, I don't believe that this would work. But I do appreciate your commentary on this. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and good luck with that.